And in this video, it's just you and me on a date night. Yeah, okay, you can relax. It's not that kind of date night, is it? So yes, you know, don't you? I'm just referring to the fruit that's known as a date. I'm sure you've come across them in some form, one way or another. This idea was brought to me by Psychopath.io, and he just happened to say, well, I've got lots of dates where I live, so why don't you try and get your hands on some and make an infusion out of them? So that's what I've done. Got myself a bag of dates. And I have to say, I will digress slightly. This is already triggering some of those childhood memories from the 70s and 80s. Or I don't know if you had them. Every Christmas, that little box of dates would come out. Oh, and there's that weird little stick you had to try and eat them with. But yeah, happy days. But you know, these are just a bag of dates, nothing special about them whatsoever. They're not organic ones. They haven't been picked from the palm tree by the buttocks of a young bronze Adonis. They are just simply a bag of dates from the supermarket. As most of you probably have eaten a date or two in your time, you will know how sweet these are. And just as a quick reference on the back here, it says the carbohydrates, of which are sugars, which will be the fructose sugars, is 68 grams per 100 grams. So that is almost 70% of natural sugars in these things. Crikey. Stoned dates. Have you ever been on a stoned date before? Sorry, I must apologise. That's just made me chuckle somewhat. Anyway, let's not mess around any longer. Let's get on with it. Okay, so out of the packet, the dates look like this. And I'm pretty sure this is going to make no difference whatsoever, but I decided to just go through the pack and open up each individual date. Like this. I then put the 300 grams of dates into the jar, along with 400 ml of a high ABV neutral spirit. And now I'll just leave it to infuse. And so after a couple of days it looked like this. The alcohol seems to have done a reasonable job of extracting some colour and hopefully flavour out of the dates. But as we know, alcohol isn't really that good at dissolving sugars. So at this point I decided to add in 600 ml of water just to see what it does. And this will now mean I've got about a litre in here at 40% ABV. So let's cover it up and leave it for another couple more days. Well, it wasn't quite 2 more days later, but it was very evident how much the water is making the dates break down. So I decided at this point to strain them off. And here you can quite clearly see there's a little bit of fruit pulp settling on the bottom of the liquid already. So I decided to run it through a muslin just to try and clear that up a little bit. It's also worth noting that of that 1 litre spirit I had in the jar, I've now ended up with only 850 ml. Yay! So here I am with the date infusion. There it is. Look at that. It is a nice colour, isn't it? Still slightly hazy though. So I am expecting some more of the fruit pulp to settle on the bottom after a week or maybe 2. But it is what it is really. And it smells, yeah, a little bit alcoholic and a slight sweetness to it, which is, you know, the average really for an infusion that I found of doing almost anything. but it's in the taste, isn't it? And I'm not expecting too much from this one, to be honest, but you never know, do you? Here we go. Cheers. Oh, yes. What is going on with that? If you get a chance, get a litre of vodka, put it in with a packet of dates, leave it to infuse for 3-4 days, strain it off, and you've got this beauty. Incredible. Oh my word, that does not need anything done to it at all. Wow, that's the one word for it. Yeah, you get a little bit of a, it's not that much of a kick of alcohol, but you know it's in there. Oh, but the after effect is pure dates. I cannot believe how sweet and how tasty that has come out. That, thank you ever so much for that suggestion. This is a beast. Oh my god, if you get a chance, do this one for sure. Wow. Yeah, that's right up my street. I love that one. Crikey. What else is there to say? Other than, thanks ever so much for watching, and until next time, make sure you keep on shining.